Alright, Mitch, I'm going to show you this step by step. Hopefully this won't be too long. But I'm going to start to create my Google form, turning this application into an online application, just by starting in my Google Drive in the folder that I want to put it in. So I know I'm going to put this in my NHS folder, and I don't have a more specific folder right now for this, but maybe I should make one. So I'm going to make one that's called NHS Leadership Team, and I'll probably later move anything that has to do with the leadership team into this folder. So I'm going to open that one up. So when I have the folder open that I want this to go into, I went to New and then down to More, and I'm going to go to Google Forms. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to title the form, and I'm going to call this the NHS Leadership Team application. And I'm not going to put a further description. Well, I am going to put a further description on it right now because I'm going to link something. I'm going to say, please see a description of the NHS Leadership Team. Positions at the link below. I'm going to link a document, and I don't think you'll need to do that, so I'm just going to pause this a minute and I'll come back in just a minute. Alright, Mitch, so you see I need to do a little editing here, but I just included here a description of the NHS leadership team positions, and I have a link here, and then I just put the due date here in the description section. So from this point on, I'm just going to be referring back to the application that I have from Tina. I do have a digital copy, but it might be easier for you just to type these things in, and some of these things I'm going to type in anyways. So I'm going to start with the first question. I'm going to start with last name. Excuse me. And I'm going to make that a short answer question, so short text answer. And then this is a little tool here where you can duplicate a question. So I'm actually going to copy that question. Click here. And my second question is going to be first name. I like to separate those because then I can sort by last name really easily. If you just haven't put their whole name in there, you have to sort by first name, and to me that's annoying. I'd rather sort by last name. So those are the first two fields, and I'm just going to flip back and forth, and I don't really know if I need all these questions. I'm just going to put them in for now. So I'm going to put each of these questions in as either a short answer question or a multiple choice question. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so if you're not duplicating a question, you're going to click on this button right here to add a question. So now I'm going to add a multiple choice question, and I'm just going to repeat the text right here. Go back to my form. I'm realizing I missed something here. So I'm going to switch this. And then I'm going to duplicate this question after I put in the options. And you know what? I think I might make this a text question, so I don't have to go through the trouble of making a multiple choice question, because there's a bunch of different offices. So now that I've got that, I am just going to duplicate this. This is how Tina used to do it, so I'm just going to follow her lead. Then I'm going to duplicate that one more time. And I realize I forgot something up here. So I'm going to click on this question, and then I'm going to add a question, and it should put it right below here. Yeah, so I have a new question here. And here's where I'll show you how to make a multiple choice question. What grade will you be in next year? So there's the question. I'm going to switch, actually I'm going to keep it as a multiple choice question. And I'm going to write the three options, because only sophomores, juniors, and seniors are eligible. Alright, that's what we've got so far. Alright, here's where I am going to add in a few longer answer questions. So I'm just going to add a question, and this time I'm going to make it in paragraph form so they can actually write their responses directly on here. And I'm just going to copy and paste her text. I'm just going to keep the same application for time saving and simplicity. So I know I want to have a very similar question for the next one, and I'm just going to duplicate that. And I'm going to copy this one. Now, you said you don't have a digital copy of these questions, so you may be typing them in, but the idea is the same. If you have similar questions, the easiest way is just to duplicate it and then change the text. I'm going to go ahead and say she meant to write, describe one of your strengths here, not strengthens. So I'm only going to copy that much. Would you agree, Mitch? I think you'd agree. Alright. And I will do that for the final question as well. You know what? That's a bad sentence, but that's okay. We'll end that one in a preposition. Is that okay with you, Mitch? I think so. Alright. Alright, that went relatively smoothly. So now I have my application, and I am going to do a few things to clean this up. If I just click up there, it automatically will put what I wrote here up here as well. And so I'm going to look over to see if there's any other information that I should add to this. However, I think it's good for now, and you can always edit on the fly. So just because it's like this now, doesn't mean you can't edit it, even once people start taking it, which is the really nice thing. You can change it as it goes. One thing I always like to do is click on this I button here, and you can preview it and see what it would look like to someone from the outside that's taking it. And this often is a good way to proofread your form and just make sure that it's all set, ready to go. I like to click on any links that I have just to make sure it links to the correct sheet, and this does. This is what I would like it to say. I'm just realizing I need to change something here. Very good. Okay. And I think I'm even going to change that. You don't need to see that though. A couple of the things that I do with these forms as well is I click over here on the settings tab just to get it ready to send out. You can choose here if you want only students. That means that it requires their login. I just select anyone in case a student wants to complete this from, in case they're not logged into their OC Schools email, or if a parent, I guess, wanted to fill it out for a student, they could, even though I don't necessarily like that. I do not check this box because then they have to log in. I do try to write a specific note that shows up once they fill out the form, and so that's right here. And I am careful not to tell them like you'll be notified within a week. I try to be general about that just to give myself some leeway in case I can't get back to them in 1 week, although I plan to. And then down here, I let students edit their response after they're done. I don't show them a link to submit another response, because then they get confused and think they have to fill it out again. And I definitely do not allow them to see a summary of responses. This is confidential. So after I've done that, I click Save. And I think it's ready to be sent out. And the way that you would send this out is wherever you'd like this to be posted. I'll do that again. You will click on the Send button. And you can send it out by email and type in email addresses here. If we're just going to post the link somewhere, I usually go to Link and then click Shorten URL. And then this is the link I would post. I will probably post mine on posters around campus, also in the morning announcements, so that it can be seen on the website. And I think I'm going to send out an email to all of the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So a few different ways that I'll post it. But that's how I plan to do it. And then also, you can mess around with the color and design if you really want to. I can change it to like a more Ontario Christian friendly color if you want. I would not suggest messing with that a ton. You can do a fair amount. You can customize exactly what's in the top. I am not going to this time because I think that's plenty. Alright, those are the basics. Let me know if you've got any questions, but I hope that helps you at least to get started.